All right, and the coffin continues. So, I got everything clamped down last week, got everything lined up last week, and yesterday I came in here and I went ahead and I welded everything. I didn't weld the bottom yet. The bottom I'll weld once I put this either on a rotisserie or a stand, whatever, and I'll flip it over, I'll weld it. And also I ground down some welds. I left one weld so you guys can see the weld. I got the motor mount carriage in here, cradle, whatever you want to call it. Tranny cradles in the mount, and everything is centered and lined up the way it should be. I shot it with the laser, and it was good. Well, there's a few measurements I would have to do in order to really show you. Here's one right there, and if you look, my mark on the motor's right on the money, mark on the cross members right on the money, and my mark up front here is right on the money. When you go back there with a level, set it all up, it comes right down to your mark over there. So we're all the way centered, and also as a backup, I took a measurement across here. Tranny is at the center of the tranny is at 13.5, right where it needs to be. And basically, it wasn't so bad. A little time consuming, you know, measure 85,000 times, cut one time, and then hope you got the cut right. But I cut them just so they were touching, and I just had to tap them in. Here, yeah, I tapped it in here, I tapped it in the back, and everything worked out well. I set them just about a 1/4 inch down from the top. So everything is level, plumb, beautiful, the way it should be. I guess frame, for the most part, is mocked up and done. I welded all my plugs, and I just welded those quickly. I didn't do anything fancy on them because I still got to do a little sanding, and then I have to do a little putty work, and then I'll shoot the frame black. And again, all this is going to be covered. You're never going to see this frame again. So, but still, it has to look good. It has to be done properly. I got my measurement for the coffin. It'll end here. It'll leave us the front here, enough for the radiator, our tombstone, and the fuel tank. Looks like we're going to be putting it in the back. Or I could hide it in the coffin, but I prefer not to do that. I'd like to keep it out in the open, so this way it doesn't overheat, or we don't have any stupid accidents. So motor will be here Wednesday. They called me, the motor's all set. They're delivering it Wednesday. So things are moving along. Everything is going pretty good. I got to figure out where to cut the coffin at the bottom, so this way I could just lay it right on top. So I know my measurements here. I just got to refine my measurements here, transfer them to there. I got to take the interior of the coffin out, and then I got to find a safe way to flip the coffin so I can cut the bottom out. I might be able to cut the bottom out from the top. We'll see. That's something that we'll have to just slowly address. And I guess that's about it. Let's get the camera off. I'll show you some of the welding and what I did, and we'll go from there. Like I tell you every week, I'm not a cameraman. So basically you can see that we're all lined up. Everything looks good. Also, you can see that we're level. You can see the green marks on the motor mounts are at the same place on each one. So let's just go ahead and let's kill that. Let's shut that off. Let's take a quick look here, and hopefully we're focusing okay. Here's a nice weld right there. You can see that we put some heat into it. I did kind of not the hottest, but just below the hottest setting for the weld, so it would penetrate into the block, because the block is back there too. I had a little groove. I grooved this out, and this way it would penetrate and it would all, you know, marry itself together. These are the plug welds. Again, I just did these quick. I didn't do nothing fancy there. I could always go back and fill these if I need to, but like I said, we got to do some sanding and prepping, priming and painting, so we'll take care of that. I ground down these welds. So I ground them down, but I left them a little high. I just wanted to get them flat because I'm going to plate this. So I might grind that just a touch more, but I don't want to take a lot of weld out of there because I don't want to take any integrity out. But even if I take a little bit more out, we'll still be in good shape. I just got to weld the bottom, as you can see. You know, I sanded this one down to ground it down, and I stopped right there. So I still got to kind of start in this corner, go underneath and meet the other corner. So this way, you know, we'll be complete all the way around. So I did pick this frame up and it got a lot heavier, tremendously heavier. So here's just a couple tacks just to hold this in place. And I got it on the motor mount, so this way we're plumb, level, and we're exactly where we belong to be. Just about a 1/4 inch down. And same here. You know, we're welded up, just tacked it in place. So this way I got to remove the engine and all that, the fake engine. And then I could just do a continuous weld all the way around. And this will stay in place. I might actually, back here I got the Rome, so I may leave the tranny in there. Because it is, I do have the mount on it. I have all that on there. And it'll hold it in place, kind of acting like a clamp. So this way I don't got to worry about it starting to twist or anything on me. Because we do have to put a little bit of heat in it. And that's about it. So we're moving along. I did most of this yesterday is when I did the welding of the frame and lining all that up, and I took all my measurements to make sure I was square and everything worked out well. I did put a fair amount of heat in here, and then, you know, let it cool. Then I ground it down, and I just wanted to leave that one weld just to show you that, you know, we have a nice crown on there. But not too high of a crown, because too high of a crown will tell you it's a cold weld. This one here is a pretty flat weld. And just a little grind on there just to clean it up. And I really don't even need to touch that if I really don't want to, because that's on the inside. The top is what I'm worried about, because once we get the coffin down, the coffin's going to come to about here, because it's 84 inches, give or take. Then we're going to plate from here forward. So this way we can mount our radiator, we can mount our lights. We could do, we got a few things to mount in the front, the granite headstone. And that's about it. So we're getting there. It's starting to look like something. Let's take a little gander here. And you know, you can see it. I mean, I'm not standing exactly center, but you can see everything is centered. And it took a lot of measuring. Just got to make sure you continuously measure. And you don't want to start being an 1/8 out here or a 1/16 out there. You want to get it, you know, maybe a hair out. I'm sure it's a hair out. It's not going to be perfect, but you can't play with an 1/8 inch here and a 1/16 inch there, especially when you're going over a distance, because you start at an 1/8 inch. By the time you go over that distance, you know, every foot it's going to increase, and then you're going to have just a mess on your hands. And especially when it comes to putting the axle in and aligning everything, that's where, you know, the trouble will start, because then you're going to have to do some fancy alignment to keep it going down the road straight. You'll have to set your thrust on the rear if you're out. In this case, pretty much everything's going to fall, you know, where it's got to fall. Basically like a stock kind of frame. It'll just go in, and we're not going to have to really get crazy with any fancy adjustments or whatever. And we should look good. So the rest of today I think I'm going to clean up, because man, do I got a mess. So I welded everything with my Miller 211. I don't have the center stand. There's the gas. You know, I used NOS in there, NOS. And this is an excellent welder, this 211. It's the portable one that I use, because I use this when I'm doing landing gear on trailers and when I'm doing outside work. And I switch it over to the flux core. And sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, if I need a really clean weld, but I'm still outside, I'll use the flux core, and I'll also use the gas. I'll double shield it just to give me that little bit of a cleaner weld. But look at this bench. I mean, and underneath it, it's a disaster. I really need to get everything organized, get all my hardware organized, get all my tools back in the toolbox, and kind of start fresh from there. Chevelle is still here. You know, I haven't forgotten about it. I was going to get some help for these bumpers, but I gotta wait. You know, one son is in Georgia at the moment, and my other son is not feeling well today, so he's not doing any of his music stuff today. And then look what we got here. I didn't even see this idiot. Henry. Now he thinks he's a Chevelle guy. Look at this idiot. I just can't believe this guy. And every time I come near him, he just freezes up like he's dead. Just don't get it. Constantly getting into trouble. But it's enough of Henry. I'm tired of him. So, we're getting there. This one's coming along pretty good. I'm happy with the progress for the amount of time that I have to spend. And I guess that's it. A little bit of Chevelle work. Maybe I'll do the interior on it. Like I said, I've been trying to concentrate on the Coffin car. I just wanted to get the structurals out of the way. Today I'll finish welding the cross members, and we'll go from there. And starting to look like a rail job. But hopefully, well, I'm going to have to dig through the trailer to get the front end components. I have special wire wheels that I bought for it. Actually, I had them made. And the back wheels, I haven't decided on what I'm doing on the back wheels yet. I'm trying to remember what the actual Munster's car had. I think it was like raw wheels or something like that. I did the research already. I have it written down on my pad at my desk, so I'll be deciding on the wheels too soon, because we're going to need to get this on wheels. So it doesn't make any sense to throw anything else on there except the wheels that we're going to be using. So next step, I think, once we get everything welded and sanded down and all that, is going to be, maybe I'll prime it. But then again, you know, we're in a clean environment in here. We're in a controlled environment, you know, environmentally controlled. So I don't worry too much about rust or anything else. It's an automatic system. It'll kick the heat on, or it'll kick the air conditioning on, or just the dehumidifier. It does everything automatically based on whatever's going on in here, and it's been working well. I don't really worry about rust or anything like that. And the other garages have it too. My machine shop definitely has it to protect all the machinery tools, and my motorcycle shop also has it. So this way I'm not worried about moisture and things getting damaged. So I guess let's get this camera back on the stand and we'll finish up. So for the welding, I picked up a new helmet, and I went with the helmet's in the bag over there, but I'll just show you the box here. So I did a little research, and I'm not a Lincoln guy, to be honest with you, but everywhere I looked, everybody I spoke to was really all hyped up on this particular helmet, which is the 3350 series, and it's the 3350-4, I believe the actual number of this helmet, and it worked great. And I mean, the amount of vision you have with this helmet is incredible. And like I said, I've never been a Lincoln guy. Maybe for their TIG. I do have the Lincoln 180 TIG, and I do like that, but I'm going to have to go a little bigger with the TIG, and also I'm going to move over to water cooled, because then you could do a bit, you know, you could do a little bit longer welding without overheating the torch, because the torch literally will melt in your hands at some point if you get it too hot. But so basically, we're getting to where we want to get. We've been moving along. Every week something has been done on here to get us closer to the goal of completion. So, you know, that's doesn't seem like a lot, but it was a lot of work. Just keeping things square, keeping things, you know, bolted, not bolted down, clamped down. And the tedious part also was having the block attached to the cradle, and then making sure that, you know, from the measurement from here to here, here to there is correct, and then the up and down measurement and the cross measurement. So you had quite a few measurements to work with. And my son, even though he's not feeling well, came out for like 2 seconds just to hold that side in place. And we had the motor and everything on it. He held that side in place, and I held mine. I tacked mine so it wouldn't move. And then I just tacked his, and that's all I needed him for. And after that, the back one was kind of like automatic at that point. And everything worked out well. So basically, sorry I don't got much more to show you, but it was quite a bit of work. You know, anybody that's done this knows what I'm talking about. You know, it's always a lot of work. You know, you look back and you're thinking you're not accomplishing a lot, but you are. You know, you need to measure, you need to pay attention to what you're doing, and you can't rush this stuff. I mean, once you start rushing because you're trying to finish, and you know, oh, I want to finish, you'll never finish, because you'll be going back to fix all the mistakes you made. So it's just take your time, take your time, take your time. And that was it. No new toys this week. I don't think we got any new toys, but I had a hard week and I'm tired as hell today. I could barely stand here with my sciatica, but that's getting better. And I'm going to see how far I can go today with cleanup, just trying to get things back in order, and this way I can start moving towards cutting the coffin, because that's kind of where I think that's the next step that we need to do, is cut the coffin and fit it on the frame. And once we're happy with that, we'll see what we got to do to create some body mounts. And also, my biggest thing is if my fat ass is going to fit in here and be able to have a gas pedal and a brake pedal, because we're going to have to work with a hump in the floor, because it's short in here. It's not, I'm not super tall. I'm 5'10", 5'10 and a half, but I still need to come up with a way to sit in this thing comfortably, because I'm also an old man, so I can't just like hop in there like when I was 20 years old. I'm sure it's going to be quite a feat to enter the vehicle, and even a bigger feat to get out of it. But it is what it is, and we're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. All right, guys. Sorry for nothing majorly exciting today. No new toys except for the helmet. And I think that's all I got. I don't think I needed to purchase anything else. We got some clamps and stuff, but that's, no big deal. So, like and subscribe if you can, comment, and I'll see you next week. Have a good weekend, whatever's left of it.